Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be taking it inside and doing a DIY project. This DIY project I accidentally came across whenever I was planting my herbs in clay pots for inside. I'm going to go ahead and try to recreate that. This project is going to take more than a day, but I will explain each step as I go through it. So the first step, I went ahead and I bought two different size pots. I bought what they call a 4-inch and a 6-inch pot. And I just happened to purchase these from Walmart. And I happened to notice that the 6-inch pots have holes in the bottom, but the 4-inch pots do not. So if you plan on planting row plants, I would recommend planting row plants only in the pots that have the holes in it, because after all, when you're planting anything, you really need to have some form of a drainage. Let me show you what I want to recreate using these pots. So this is what I want to recreate using these pots. When I first did this project, I had no intention of it turning out and looking like this. I actually started by just planting soil and planting my herbs in these pots. Now, of course, these are not my herbs. These are actually those fake plants that I bought from Temu. And it's just a white plastic pot. And since I had these pots, I went ahead and I dumped out my herbs because even though I grow a lot of things outdoors, I'm not the best at growing inside plants. So the herbs didn't work well for me. I don't know if it's because I just didn't pay close attention to them and I kept forgetting to water them in the house. Outdoor plants, of course, have half a chance whenever Mother Nature is watering them. So I just popped these fake plants inside of these pots. And this is what I'm going to try to recreate. And I don't know if it's gonna work. And how these pots came to be was how I watered the plants when I had my herbs in them. I'm going to try to recreate this, and let's go ahead and get started on this DIY. I wanna go ahead and start by stating the cost of these pots. The 6-inch pots were $1.98 each at Walmart, and the 4-inch pots were $1.54 each. So what I did is I went ahead and I went out on the internet and I found different images that I liked that gave me either a French country feel or farmhouse type feel. So although I accidentally came upon that look on the terracotta pots that I originally had, I am going to try my best to duplicate that. And this is going to be a several step process, but the first step is to first get an image on the terracotta pot. So basically what I did is I had printed out several images, but it was a mirror image of it. So I went ahead and I cut out several images that I think will look nice on the pots. I'm going to be using this Liquitex to achieve this look. If you have Mod Podge, that will work as well. I'm going to protect my hands by wearing gloves. And basically all I'm going to do is I am going to use this medium. On the image side, I am going to brush on this medium. So I brush this medium on and I'm just going to place this and center this on the pot, trying to make sure there are no air bubbles and try to make sure it's as center as possible. So I'm going to continue doing that. And I'm just making sure I have full coverage of the medium on the image. Again, I'm gonna make sure there are no bubbles. And I think I'm going to do image on front and back of the terracotta pots. So I have like a butterfly and a bee and some words in French that I don't even know what it says, but it looks cool and it kind of gives it a French country look. So if you have a French country decor, this would work well with that. And you can utilize this. You can either put real plants in it, such as herbs or any other live plant, or how I have it right now, I did have some fake plants in there because even though I can grow a lot of things well outside, I tend not to do well with indoor plants. I always forget to water them. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this sit at least overnight, and then I will come back and I will moisten this paper and rub off as much of the paper as possible. And the goal is the image will be left behind. Now we wait. Okay, after it has set overnight, I'm just taking a sponge and I'm getting it wet. Actually, I'm just gonna dip it in here. And then I am just going to take my thumb and rub the paper off. And you have to rub a little firm, but not too firm, because you don't want a lot of that print to come off. And you can see the print. I'm going to continue to rub to get a little bit more of this paper off. So I have this tub of water, and I've actually added the secret ingredient, which is Epsom salt. I added about 1/4 cup of Epsom salt and stirred it in the water to the point where you don't feel the grit anymore, like it's completely dissolved in the water. So I'm going to continue doing that. Oh, this one's going to turn out really well. A lot of the images that I selected, and I just printed it off in a mirror image on regular paper on a laser jet printer, but it's just regular paper when I did the previous step. But look how nice that looks. Very clear. And then this was the font, but it's in French, so I don't really know what it says, but it looks cool. So I'm going to continue doing that with the other 2 pots, and then I am going to leave it in this water and Epsom salt. And then after it sits all night, I'll be back to show you the next step. So these pots have been soaking since July 29th, so it's been a few days. Today is July 31st. What I'm going to do is I am just going to pour out the water in the Epsom salt solution, and I'm just gonna let them set, dry out. So this process takes a little bit of time for that salt to form on the outside as it dries. So I know this is soaked for a long time. I'm just going to leave it right now. I am not going to try to take any more of the paper off, but I will let it set. And this process of forming that old world charm, aged look, it's going to take possibly up to a week or more. I will keep you posted. Like I said, today is July 31st, and we'll let it set and we'll see how long it takes. I went ahead and did 2 different batches of these pots. This was the first batch, this whole collection right here, and this was the second batch that I started after the previous batch. You can see where it's starting to form that look that I'm going for. If you want to speed this process up, you could actually take some white paint, like white chalk paint or something, and just kind of brush it on around the pot. But if you notice, this was the first batch that I did, and it's forming that beautiful aged look around the pots, and eventually it should look like this. I just knew it was going to take a while to get to this point, and I figured I needed to go ahead and wrap up this video. But I hope you liked this technique and like this little project. I was thinking about maybe planting some real plants in it again this year. And I have some more of those fake plants that I will probably add to these terracotta pots and place in different locations around the house, such as the bathroom or whatnot. But let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you like projects like this, let me know. I do such a random variety of things. I know when I started making videos back in April, I started with my chickens and garden. And then I moved to doing a couple of different types of reviews. And now I have also done a couple of projects, including woodworking. And this is my life. This is what I do. If there is anything you would like to see, let me know in the comments below. And I hope you like this video. Until next time, thank you for watching.